Here with Brandon,
All right.
who is hosting this time. So say hi, you
All
son of
right.
a
And
bitch.
we are live.
Again? Damn it. What's up, everybody? It's Wraith with Metal Truthers. Here with Brandon, as always. He's the host again. And man, I gotta say, give him props. He's did it again. Didn't need no more tutorials. We got this. I guess, Happy New Year to all you worthless bastards and bastettes out there. Uh, Let's
Yeah,
hope 2018 we can have another productive year of people sitting around on their asses not getting shit done.
that's generally how it goes. Now,
No.
New Year, Metal Truthers is coming back hard this year for sure.
Yep. I mean, you're in charge of hosting now.
Yeah, I know.
As long
That's
as Brandon keeps shit going, we are going to be coming as hard as possible. I mean, I'm trying to keep up with news, but yeah, I'm still kind of out of the loop on shit, dude. Like, I've just gotten to a point where I don't have the time to constantly like care about it all. You know what I mean? Being a full-time daddy, I'm broke all the time now. So,
shit happens. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I guess that could give me more time to like research and shit, but like what y'all don't understand is like half the day I spend half my day like trying to convince my kids that being good is, something they should be doing. And like I don't get paid for this, so like I can't honestly just justify me sitting there for 8 or 9 hours anymore. Like I used to do hours of research on end, but it didn't get us very far. And my time is valuable.
yes, it is.
I mean, I've got no problem keeping y'all up to date on real world events, what's going on, trying to help unravel the pieces of this giant puzzle. But, y'all want us to get back to where we're trying to kind of do like Dabu and some of them people do it. Like, we need some support. That's all I can say.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, we don't get paid for this. We do this in our free time. And it'd be nice to get paid for it. Don't get me wrong. That'd be awesome.
Because that would free, like, I wouldn't mind dedicating more of my time to this. But
Yeah, same here. I'd absolutely love it.
and
And
I'd have to close my kids off in another room while I'm recording y'all episodes during the day and shit on news. So if y'all want me to justify like having to keep my kids in another room so that I can do my videos and shit in like a peaceful setting, the motherfucking I need some kind of compensation because I'm literally going to be giving up time with my kids to bring y'all the shit y'all want to hear.
but I think if we just keep working at it, keep spreading the word, um, just keep doing what we do, I think we'll eventually get it to where we are compensated for it. We just have to put in the effort.
Shit, not on YouTube. Huh.
That is something I wanted to bring up. I will be looking at other ways to get the show out there besides just YouTube.
Uh, I've heard about other websites, but a lot of them are still in the, up and coming mode.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Patreon, but we don't have enough subscribers to get a Patreon.
No, not really.
I mean, hell, it's as simple as going to What, looking up metal truthers? Didn't we set up a PayPal for that already?
Not that I remember.
Yeah, I think we did back when we first started the channel, remember? Because I wanted to monetize it way back then. And we didn't meet the requirements at the time. But we had to set up a PayPal account nonetheless. I think we did. I'm not positive, though.
Oh no, we may have.
We should probably look into that. And if we haven't, we can set up a PayPal. And if y'all want to help fund our channel and make things, able to put some food in my house every now and then and shit.
Yeah, be nice.
I mean,
it's definitely not going to be no multi-million-dollar channel.
shit, I don't even want that. I'd be happy if people would at least compensate me with like $30 a month or something, just to show that they appreciate the like. We do take the time to bring y'all the real shit, like, and we talk to y'all like y'all are legitimate people. We don't try to treat y'all like Alex Jones and them do, where they try to make you feel like you're less than nothing for coming onto their channel with a differing opinion than their own.
Yeah.
I mean, well, y'all know I'm very strong in what I believe, and how I see things is how I see them. And if you don't see them the same way, like I've straight up told y'all, I don't give a fuck about your opinions, but at the same time, I'm not going to belittle you like if we're having a discussion about it. How I see things, and if we can't meet in the middle, so be it. But people like Alex Jones, I've heard him just dog on people on this show, and I'm sitting there like, man, why are y'all even supporting this douchebag? Like,
I've heard
I mean, I used to like the guy, man. When I first got into this whole thing, he was like I've said him numerous times, like, he was a big part of my awakening, but at the same time, like, man, he's just a shill. He's definitely controlled opposition and like push for a civil war in this country. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, the hype is dying down. Like, I don't know about you, but I haven't even really heard much about Antifa in the past like few months.
I really haven't either. I think at this point they're pretty much I don't even know.
I mean, I think we're seeing the end of these elite bastards in a way, dude. Because from what I've heard, like, rumor in the grapevine is that, like, fucking George Soros had himself a heart attack or something the other day, or something like that. Fucking one of the other Rothschild brothers, I think Jacob, might be a fucking dead. I mean,
Well, I mean that would be pretty cool.
eh.
I mean, not trying to be an asshole.
Even though they're all evil sons of bitches, I've gotten to the point where I don't necessarily, dude, I don't really even wish death on anybody anymore, man. Like, that whole stroke thing kind of, like, awoke me to the fact that I put a lot of negative energy out there, even though most of my targets have always been people that, by all means, deserve it. And, it's not my place to pass judgment on others. Until they strike me. And so far, I can't honestly say, yeah, I mean, they're striking all of us, but they haven't technically struck me yet to the point where I would feel justified, like, saying that it's a good thing that this dude died in a plane crash. I mean, who knows? He may be a puppet, and, like, even though his family's all part of it, maybe he was one of the ones that was a good son, but he still has to go along with the program or he ends up dead. We don't know anything about these people.
But yeah, man.
That part is, we know the history of their families and stuff, but we don't know how many of them are basically forced into the servitude of their family.
Right.
They may not even like the shit that they're doing, but they have to play their part. So that we can have a little Facebook controversy too. I'd like to wish the Church of Satan a Happy New Year? Because apparently that's something you can't do nowadays.
Wait, what?
Chelsea Clinton on social media at some point, I guess it was on Twitter or some shit like that, like fucking said Happy New Year's to the Church of Satan or something, and like everybody's blowing up and they're like, ah, and Alex Jones is out there like, see, she's a Satanist. And I'm like, what, you can't have like acknowledge the fact that they are a religion too? So what if they were like worship the opposing God? Like maybe that's why nobody likes Christians, because no matter what, like if anybody believes in something different than you, they're an enemy.
Right.
And I get that Satanists are in direct opposition to, you know, but the Church of Satan is not real Satanism. Like these people are not like the kind that eat babies and shit like that. They don't sacrifice kids. We're talking about Luciferians when y'all talk about that, and y'all need to learn the difference. I mean,
Completely agreed.
y'all can lump them all into the same category, whatever.
But
I
no
mean,
matter
the
how you
average
look at it,
Satanist doesn't even believe in the idea of a real Satan. They think it's a metaphor for man and the darker essence of man. They don't even believe that Satan exists. They just take it as a term because it goes against the church, and most people don't like the fucking church. Sorry to bust y'all's bubble on that, but I mean, fuck it, you did it to yourselves. If y'all would learn to stop being so judgmental on everyone else, maybe Christianity wouldn't be a dying religion. Maybe if y'all would get on y'all's churches and make them actually do what they say they're about, and y'all make them actually worship, and y'all make them, work for God the way they're supposed to.
exactly.
Have people that have refused to go to a church or have anything to do with your Bible. The Bible has some really good moral stories in it if you want to take them at face value and not try to like sit there and a mantra and believe that it's entirely true. I mean, the stories, it's like reading Aesop's Book of Fables. You don't believe that there was really a race between a turtle and a rabbit in which the tortoise won that race somehow. But you take from that story the idea and the motivation and effort, and as long as you don't cheat, yes, you'll come out on top. You
Exactly.
feel me?
It's not.
But like, we don't sit there and believe that shit. Like, I mean, Beauty and the Beast takes you. The moral of that story is to not take people at face value. They could look like a beast, but actually be like, 100% a good person on the inside. And
Yes.
it's more or less learn to read between the pages and not take things at face value. But do we believe that there's actually somebody out there that
I think we have lost contact with Wraith. You are you still there? Okay, I'm thinking his internet cut out. But no, basically, what he's saying is that the Bible is not meant to be every single word taken literally, just like Aesop's Fables, Beauty and the Beast, stuff like that. It's meant for you to take the lesson and learn from it. Now, a lot of the stuff that's wrote in the Bible, yes, it did happen. A lot of it is analogies, a lot of it is metaphors, a lot of it is symbolic. It's like I said, it's basically there for you to come in and think for, to take the lessons out of it and learn for it. It is what it is. One thing I wanted to get into tonight is, yeah, we definitely lost Wraith. I'm going to try to get him back on here. If y'all will give me just a second, he's been having problems with his internet. Hold on just a second. Let me send him the invite. Invite sent to him. Okay, let's get him on here. Right, give me just a second, everybody. I'm working on getting him back on. He was in the middle of a very good point and his internet cut out. I would like to apologize for that. That's just one of those things that tends to happen. Excuse me. Sorry, as you guys can probably tell, I've somewhat been a little bit under the weather here lately. I work third shift, and it's crazy because it's been down to the negatives here in Alabama. So I mean, it's 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 been pretty rough. The weather's kind of getting to me, but you know, shit happens. Got to keep on. Got to do what you do. Push through it, and just basically keep on. And God knows that's what I'm trying to do. All right. Welcome back.
All right, we're back. Yeah, my internet decided to bitch out on me for a second there.
Hey, shit happens.
Dude, this is what happens when you pay for I don't know what they call this, efficiency living, even though they charge you like fucking $780 a month for this piece of shit 1 bedroom apartment that the breakers go out every fucking night in.
Good God.
Yeah, dude, like last night, no lie, I didn't get but like an hour's sleep because every time I started to fall asleep, the fucking heater would trip the break. I have to get up, go back outside, turn it off because, like, dude, here in Texas, it has been cold for winter, dude. I am not used to this being down here.
Man, over here in Alabama, it's the same shit with me. Man, just like not last night, but the night before last at work, it was, it was, I think 12 degrees with the wind chill of -5, -6, something like that. Man, I tell you what, it's it's rough. This weather is just unbelievably cold.
This whole
And
year has been ridiculous, man.
well, I mean, the year's only 3 days old.
Well, I mean, like last year too. I mean, just overall,
Oh, I know.
like this weather. I'm not even used to the fact that it's 2018 now.
I'm really not either.
Hold on, Luna. I mean, I don't know if it's geoengineering or what, dude, which we thought that shit was going to end with Trump, but apparently not, because I mean, I don't think this weather's normal, and people can be like, oh, it's climate change, it's climate change. Well, the climate always changes, and I get that. We're overdue an ice age, I get that.
And from
But
the looks
like,
of it, we're headed there.
holy fuck, dude. Like, I mean, this has been a drastic change. Like, isn't there like some Arctic blast that's coming down again? Like, didn't we just get hit by one and now there's another one coming in?
Um,
It's supposed to hit the East Coast or some shit.
I know tonight it's supposed to snow in the Florida Panhandle.
That's fucking ridiculous. Like, how does that even fucking happen?
I know, right? I thought it was the closer you get to the equator, the warmer it gets.
I just mean, like, Florida, I don't think they get snow. I think it's kind of like Texas. Like, that's a foreign object there. Or my bad, I should say South Texas, because, like, Dallas and that shit, they always get snow. I mean, like I said, we've seen some weird shit this year that just doesn't make sense, especially compared to, like, I don't know, things have been getting weird this past 2, 3 years weather-wise. Like, it's progressively getting worse. But who knows? Maybe it's Mother Earth shaking us off like a bad case of the fleas, like I said, was eventually going to happen.
Could
Huh?
be. Because, I mean, you
You
look at
know?
places like North Dakota and they're having temperatures in the negative 50s.
And I mean, fucking Yellowstone's still being active and shit.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
actually saw a post on Facebook today by the Smithsonian that was saying that Yellowstone was completely full now.
what do you mean?
It's full, like it's filled to the brim with lava.
Oh, the magma chamber's finally reached its peak capacity?
Yep.
Well, I don't know exactly how they would know that it's completely full because they still haven't quite figured out exactly how big Yellowstone really is. Every other year, they make another discovery that says like it's actually twice as big as they thought it was, or 3 times as big. The last time they were like, the amount of power it holds is like astronomically larger than what we thought it was going to be. So, like, I mean, really, who the fuck knows? It's getting hard to know when you can trust these people, you know?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Um, another thing with all the nuclear tests that's been going on in North Korea, I haven't really heard anything about the U.S. doing any, but I can guarantee you that Trump has been doing some nuclear tests to make sure we have the power we need.
Yeah, I mean, the reality of it all is like there's more and more shit popping off every year. Things are getting a little bit darker every year. And the people really have nowhere to turn anymore. Hold on. Like, like we just don't. We don't have politicians you can trust in any country on the planet at this point. Like, I mean, like it's a sad state of affairs.
It
Like, I
is.
mean, Russia can't trust their politicians. Fucking the United States has been sold out to whoever the fuck. Like, I don't even really know if it's like if we're actually sold out to China or if we're at this point nobody even really knows where America belongs. You know?
Not really.
I
Kind
mean, if there is even an America left. Like Trump's whole slogan was "Make America Great Again." I still have the question, like, great. It wasn't in my generation, that's for fucking sure. Like, I get it. Some people say, well, when America was more patriotic, Well, like, I had a reason to be patriotic in the past, like, 4 generations, to be honest with you. Like, fucking World War II, even then, the government was turning its back on its own people. Like, putting fucking Japanese Americans in a concentration camps, basically, almost like what the Nazis were doing. We were just a little more covert about it, and it was like, oh, it's for your own good, because the people think to that.
Right.
I mean, it's just become up to a point, dude, where Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter, it never really has to begin with, but it's really gotten to a point where, like, none of this shit really matters anymore, and everybody's just obsessed with bullshit,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know?
that's the reason we're in the situation that we're in right now. Or not the sole reason, but that's a lot of it, is because people are so obsessive over this two-party system.
Not even just two parties. I mean, technically, 3 or 4 parties that run. It's just only two that ever get any like actual play time.
Right.
But the other parties are just as corrupt. They have just as many puppets in them. Like when you actually start looking at all these politicians' backgrounds, even the independent parties, it seems like 9 times out of 10, research into who these people are, they're still related to these same motherfuckers. And man, it's like a big fucking game that none of us can get out of. You know?
Right.
But the average person don't want to hear that shit because, you know, it's depressing.
It is, but it's reality.
Yeah, like, you know, it sucks that 9/11 was an inside job done by our own government just to force some rules on us that we didn't want or need that took away our freedoms as Americans. And the really, really shitty part about it that no one actually wants to admit to themselves is we stood by and let it fucking happen. You know? As Americans, we don't want to take responsibility for what's happened to our country.
Oh yeah, of course.
Politicians. We did what we've done, you know, and we have to take accountability for it, man. I mean, these
Yeah.
corrupt ass people didn't pop up overnight and they didn't just walk into the office, you know what I mean? Like, the game, we fed into the bullshit, we elected the people. The accountability is just as much as us as it is them because if we would stop playing the World Elites game, we could beat the World Elites. But instead, game daily, we feed their system, we play by their rules, and then we expect us to actually, like, we don't understand why they're winning. Well, how the fuck are you supposed to win when you're playing the same fucking game? If you want their game to stop, then you have to be willing to stand up to the game, change the fucking rules, and play your own game.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
And that's instead of, feeding into it and giving them more and more power.
You know, a very good Marine Corps slogan. Nut up or shut up.
I like
You
that.
know? Like, it's either fucking you're gonna get balls to the wall about the shit or shut your goddamn mouths and quit complaining. That's why me and Brandon do a YouTube channel. We're not afraid to talk about the shit that we don't like that's going on in the world and the country. We actually voice our opinion on it. It loses us friends. Shit, neither one of us can fly on a plane. Does it look like we give a fuck?
Nope.
Like, we're still gonna talk, they're still gonna hate on us, and we're still gonna fight. That's just the nature of the system. If it comes down to a straight up war between the elites and the regular people, we'll fight with the regular people. Fuck what you heard, you know? Because
Absolutely.
I don't know any Rothschilds personally. These people aren't friends of mine. I'm not friends with any Clintons or Trumps or, you know, fucking Bruce Waynes or Lex Luthers or none of that shit. None of these people are my friends. I don't know them. I am nothing.
Nor
You
do I
feel me?
want to be.
So, my question is, why are we letting a bunch of people that we have no faith in, that we shouldn't have faith in because we don't know them from Adam? You can't tell me that you know for a fact that anyone you elect into office is actually looking out for your safety and your well-being. And if you actually think they are, I beg you to look at history, look at the system of people that are getting into power, and ask yourself again that same question. And if you still come up with the same answer, you obviously haven't been reading the same history books I have. And I'm talking about this goes back to Rome, man. Like, this isn't just, I'm not talking about American history. I'm talking about world history. People, groups in that think that they're better than the rest, especially they usually come from the so-called wealthy class of people. The people underneath them suffer. Whether you want to admit it or not, whether you like to admit it or not, reality is reality. And just because you don't like the way something is, doesn't mean that it ain't real. You know?
Right.
I mean, you can way the elites run the world, and you can want to believe that there's not another like group behind everything, making people's lives miserable and harder to live. But that doesn't mean that it's not there just because you don't like it.
Absolutely.
You know? And just because you don't want to admit that something like that can happen doesn't mean that it's not happening. You know, it's to a point where we as people take for granted. Anyone that says that that they actually care about us and they're going to do something about the way the world is and all the pain and suffering that the people have to feel, like regardless of whether they're actually caring about any of that or not, doesn't really equate to most people. Like, they're just going to take it at face value, and it is what it is from that point on. Like, you feel me? Like, we don't really care if the elites are out to help us or against us, as long as somebody else is pulling the strings, so that we have a place to lay all the blame when shit does go wrong, you know? I don't think we want to be able to admit to ourselves that we're part of the problem. Because, I mean, dude, I always call the elites out on their bullshit. Of course. That's why we started this channel, to fight them.
Yep.
But there is personal accountability to take into a factor here. These elites wouldn't be in power if we quit playing their game. Like, we've created just as many of the problems as they have by allowing this stuff to happen generation after generation and never really taking a stand, because we allow ourselves to get comfortable with what they give us, and we don't want to lose that comfortability. You know?
Of course.
We don't want to lose the little perks and rewards that come along with going with their system, like the PlayStations and the TVs and the iPhones. Before that, it was the computers and this and that, you know? It seems like for the past 30, 40 years or so, they keep coming out with newer and newer things to get the people all under one fucking mantle and get us all believing their shit and wanting to side with them above all others. You feel me?
Yep.
And we just stay complacent. So, like, as much as I hate the people, and yeah, we're calling them out, we're fighting as much of the fight as we can by speaking out against it. Man, I'm going to call it out this year in 2018. Things have to change. And part of what has to change is we, the people, have to take some accountability for the shit we've allowed to happen.
Of course.
That made life easier for us. You know? Most people don't want to be farmers in agriculture anymore. They don't want to hunt. They don't want to fish. They don't want to do these things. Government to set us up with convenience stores and this, that, and the other, you know?
Of course. Nobody wants to be burdened to be self-sufficient. You know, they expect the grocery stores to be open when they need food. They expect the doctors to be there when, you know, they get a cut on their leg.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous that we have such an issue with the world itself. We're not willing to actually step up and do anything about it. We're not willing to. Most people don't want to put their lives on the line, you know? Because for them, I guess everybody's waiting for Batman or Superman to swoop in and save the day at this point. And it's an unrealistic concept. But, you know, it's just the same. You can call him Batman, Superman, Jesus Christ, whoever you want. No mythical creature from the sky is going to solve this shit at this point. If y'all haven't figured that out by now, to burst your bubble. But I really I understand you have your faith. Times your version. I get that. And to an extent I respect that. But I mean, since when did serving a God mean that you lie down in the face of evil and just let it happen because you're only human and you have nothing, you can't stop it. You have no power to fight the dark forces, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't know what kind of bullshit God you believe in, but my gods don't allow that. If you see evil, you have to step up against it. Whether you're going to lose the fight or not is irrelevant. You have to stand up. You know? Like,
Of course, I mean that's you know, excuse me. Like I said, I've been a little bit under the weather because of the crazy
and
weather.
like I said, well, so am I, dude. But like I said on the last episode, I made my prediction in a way for 2018 because I knew we weren't going to get another episode before the end of the year hit.
Right.
I mean, on some real shit, 2018, people need to they start fucking getting ready, start preparing. I don't give a fuck if you want to call it doom porn or not. Start getting ready. Shit is coming. If you can't feel it coming, then you're in trouble. And give me 2 seconds, Brandon. Take over from here for a sec. I gotta go. It's about being awake still.
All right. Um, you know, going off of what he was saying, it's pretty much excuse me, is pretty much, you know, we're seeing what's going on and we're, you know, especially with the government, the wars and everything that's going on, people just, we're pretty much just laying down and taking it. I mean, yeah, you've got the few that's standing up and speaking out against it, but not many people's really listening. You know, you got people like Alex Jones out there that's getting millions upon millions of views a day. And don't get me wrong, he just he does put out some good info, but you know what info he does put out.
I mean, if you could sit through his bullshit, like meandering about, buy this fucking amazing miracle product. It'll change your life. Your dick will grow 5 sizes
Yeah,
in one night.
yeah,
You know? Like, fucking, it'll increase your libido. This is my alternative to Viagra. Fucking Alex Jones. Buy all male enhancement. My nutraceutical formula. Made with more caveman semen than you can ingest in one sitting. I fucking hate that guy just because of that bullshit. Like, you get all this shit. Have you heard anything about Alex Jones donating any of his money that he makes on InfoWars to... Oh, motherfucker. My goddamn breaker. I hate this shit. Like I said, give it fucking 20 times a night, my breaker's gonna go off. People want to talk about living in the ghetto, dude. Fucking God forbid anyone else in this apartment complex turn on their heater in the middle of winter. Your fucking breaker will go out every 10 seconds. Huh.
All right, so while I'm thinking about it, what's your opinion on Trump announcing or officially recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel?
Same game as always, different players. Same thing I've been saying for the past like fucking 4 years. If they support Israel, they're a shill. I was hoping that he would be the guy that was going to play the game different. He's proving me wrong at that, you know, whatever. I mean, if he wants to play the Zionist Jesuit game, let him play it. You know? I don't care what you say. Israel is not biblical Israel. Those people have no reason being where they're at. They have no rights to that land. They take that land from everyone else. They wage war on any nation around them for anything they want. And at the same time, cry out about how horrible everyone else around them is. Like, man, open your fucking eyes, people.
You know, it goes with
How
the
the fuck are
saying.
you the victim when you're launching more attacks and more bombs and killing more innocent people than anyone else? Anyone
Yep.
else.
See, that's the thing. You know, that kind of goes along with the saying that if everybody sees a problem with what you're doing except you, then you should probably open your eyes.
I mean, in all reality, like, if y'all haven't figured out that by now, man, it's not just us. Like, if it was just me and Brandon telling you that Israel was full of shit, sure, y'all could call us, like, Nazis or whatever the fuck you want to call us. But it's not just us that have come to the conclusion that this whole thing's a sham, man. God damn, how many people have to tell y'all that it's a sham before it gets through your motherfucking head that it's a sham and that you're all full of shit? Isn't a good nation, dude. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Oh, they're just protecting themselves. When was the last time Iraq sent an invasion army into Jerusalem? When's the last time Palestine actually invaded Israel? You fucking dumbasses. Oh, sure, Palestine launches bombs over there every now and then. Do you happen to pay attention to any of the news from that part of the world where, like, the day before Palestine launches back, Israel sends a bunch of fighter jets and bombers over their country or launches a couple of missiles over the border and fucking kills a whole bunch of Palestinian women and children? Fuck, because the Jews are sacred, right? Fuck y'all. Huh. People in their double standards nowadays. Oh, all the killing in the Middle East, we have to take all these refugees in. Gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta save this, we gotta save that. Motherfucker, what about what about Israel's war crimes? How many fucking people do you think Israel leaves fatherless and motherless? How many children do you think they kill on a daily fucking basis over there? But are you batting an eye? Why? No, because they're brown people. So it don't fucking matter, right? Like,
That's what it seems like.
it's fucking a bunch of hypocritical bullshit. You know? And I'm sorry, I don't support hypocrites. I'm not going to feel like a hypocrite, and I'm not going to condemn Saudi Arabia and Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan and all Libya and all these other countries for their supposed like crimes and shit, and then like just totally be cool when Israel does it because fucking Jews, you know.
Of course. I mean, it's just because they're a different set of people doesn't make it right that they're doing what they're doing.
I mean, oh well, it's in the Bible about these people. So you're telling me that if I go out tomorrow and I found a copy of the Bible that said that China was actually the chosen people of God, would y'all then all of a sudden accept the way China treats their civilians, and then China could run around and bomb whoever they want, the U.S., whoever, doesn't fucking matter because they're God's chosen people? Is that what you're trying to tell me? What I mean?
Even better if Russia did it.
Yeah. What if you find out that Russians are the true chosen people of times? Like, what are y'all gonna do then? Fucking go worship Putin? I don't think so. No, like I said, we have a soft spot for Jews because of the Holocaust, which I'm not a Holocaust denier, but I do say that the facts are up for debate. You know,
I mean, I am to an extent.
like the fact that like what 6 million Jews were killed. Like, I'd like to see how you know exactly how many Jews were in the world at that point in time, and how many of them were actually in Europe at that point in time for you to say that there were 6 million Jewish people. And I'm talking about true Jews, not these fake Jews, not the people that adopted Judaism because they thought it was cool. It's what a lot of celebrities do. They adopt the Kabbalistic Judaism and shit like that, and Zionism and shit like this because they hear about it. They see that the people in power, the elitists, that's what they believe in. So all of a sudden you see people like Jay-Z and Madonna becoming Kabbalists and shit. Like, I mean, there's pieces of a puzzle. All it takes is for people to start trying to put them together, and it's all real easy to figure out, man.
It is. You just have to be able to put the pieces together.
Well, for that matter, you have to be willing to see the puzzle. And you
Yeah.
have to be willing to accept the fact that some things that you've heard, like Israel and Jerusalem as God's chosen people and shit like this, you might have to come to terms with the fact that that may not be reality, man. That may not be the true story and that you're being played. Kind of like when you find out your bitch is cheating on you or something, and then you got to come to those couple of dark days where you get super mad and just depressed, and you're angry at the world because how could a bitch lie to you, kind of shit.
Right.
Like, kind of look at it in that light. I mean, yeah, it sucks to have to hear that, but you have to look at it. Look at it like a fucking bitch has been cheating on you for like the past 200 years, and you've been getting lied to about it. I mean,
That's really the best way to look at the situation, because in all reality it kind of goes hand in hand when you think about it.
yeah, I
Someone that
mean,
you completely trusted and gave everything to, you find out they've been lying and bullshitting you the entire time.
and I understand Israel hasn't been recognized as a state for 200 years. Shut the fuck up, people. The plans were in the works long before America was founded. How's that sound to you? Before Germany, before World War II, they already had this plan in motion. We were just too fucking dumb to see it.
And see, that was a big contributor to World War II because Hitler was getting in the way of that.
to be honest, dude, I understand what a lot of people say, and I understand, like, when you read Hitler's memoirs and stuff, kind of his ideology behind it, but we can all step back for a second, look back at history, and go, Hitler was a raging fucking psychopath. I mean, he
Oh
was
yeah,
definitely a psychopath. Like, he had extremely sociopathic and psychopathic tendencies, and, but we have to also realize something. Serial killers, psychopaths, and sociopaths are able to do the things they do so well because they can easily convince the people that they're something else entirely. They
like
can make the people believe that they are a different animal than what they truly are, and they know how to pull at your heartstrings to where you believe with all your heart
yep,
that they're out for your best interest. Look at Trump right now. I mean, obviously he's playing the game. I thought for a second there maybe we might be in luck, but with him recognizing Jerusalem, I have a feeling that if the UN comes into Chicago at this point, we can have no faith in him making sure that our republic still stands after they're supposedly over and done with. I think what we're going to see is the UN spread out to any and every major city that they can, and then we're going to see the spread of, all right, well, the militias have been listed as a terrorist organization now, so all the militias have to be rounded up, sympathetic to militias, blah, blah, blah. They have to be labeled enemy combatants. I see very dark times in our future, and I was really hoping that we might be able to escape it, but man, I was fucking wrong. No one ever said I was right 100% of the time. But then again, I didn't put all my eggs in one basket. I also told people that there was a high chance that it wasn't what we were hoping for. And, you know, lo and behold, I mean,
it was nice to have that little bit of hope. It's just unfortunately, it was false hope.
well, that makes me think of another old saying: you can wish in one hand and shit in the other.
Let's see which one fills up quicker.
Exactly. Like us collectively around the world, the civilians, the people that feel like we have no power, which in this point, man, I guess we don't actually have power anymore. We relinquished with it all in hopes that, Captain Save-A-Ho was right around the corner.
Pretty much.
You know, Captain Save-A-Ho don't exist. What we do have is Captain Rothschild Bank is going to eliminate all of our freedoms. And we, as the American populace, have basically decided to just sit down, shut up, and accept what's going to happen at face value. And I guess you could say it's happening worldwide, but there are other countries that are starting to stand up and they're saying, you know what, we don't like this. We don't like what's happening. We don't like the migrants. We don't like this. We don't like that. We're going to stand up to our leaders. And Americans sit back and we go, I can't believe they're doing that. How could they turn on their government like that? Well, maybe if you all weren't such fucking cuckold pieces of shit, wake the fuck up and stand up too. You know?
Of course.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm fucking tired of feeling this and Black Lives this and blah, this lives that and this movement and that movement. Like, fuck all that noise, man. Ain't nobody in America fucking oppressed. That's for goddamn sure. If anything, the only oppressed people in America are what you would consider the lower class, the people below the poverty line. They're oppressed and they stay oppressed because they don't have the money to get out of it. Makes sense to anybody but me, but that's the reality of the situation. Like, the only truly oppressed people in this country are the poor people, the homeless, that they turned out on their ass after they fought for this country, and the country decides to say fuck them. At this point, if you're a straight white male in this country, you're pretty much oppressed. I mean, like anything you do, say or do is automatically gonna like incarnate Satan into the living room of whoever's house you're in or whatever public venue you're in. Like, if you're fucking white at this point, you are the spawn of the devil and you should hate your existence because, of course, the devil had white skin. It's sad that we've gotten to a point like that in this country, dude. I mean, I'd hate to say it, but it's gotten to a point where everything that we're seeing, everything we've seen over like the past 2 years has just been fucking pathetic. Like, I don't know who the fuck's still waiting on America to come the fuck back around, but man, I done thrown in the towel. I've given up, dude. There ain't no winning this war.
I think there's a chance. We just have to reach more people and get more people to wake up and stand up.
Yeah, but where are those people, I mean, somebody show me where they're at, and I'll see if I can't get them to stand up. Huh.
I mean, it's hard
Because so
because
many people that I thought were waking up went back to sleep, like, immediately. Like,
it's the
there are a
programming.
bunch of people out there that legitimately think the fight's over now somehow. And,
Well, I
like,
mean,
I wish I could live.
look at how many people listen
Like,
to Alex Jones on the daily and believe every word he says. Because if you've listened to Alex Jones even once in the past year, the show is pretty much turned into the Donald Trump Power Hour.
fucking Trump is our Lord and Savior. Anyone who doesn't believe it's a Zionist, like, fucking shill kind of bullshit. Like,
I mean, I hate to put that out there, but Trump talks a hell of a game. He talks a huge game, but still under the shadows, he's singing the song of globalism.
if I could technically classify him as a globalist because he's playing a different game than globalists, to be honest with you. Like, even hey, it's somewhat on the same path as what the globalists were. Like, it's almost like Trump is playing, like, yeah, it's globalism, but it's like Trump wants his own form of globalism. I think he's pulling a Hitler on us. Like, that's what Hitler did. He originally started off going with their program, and then somewhere halfway down the line, to try and start his own program.
Right, he made a huge left turn off the beaten path and started doing his own thing.
And that's when they took him out.
Yep.
I mean,
I mean,
originally Hitler was groomed by these same people that are technically generations down the line grooming Trump, Obama, Hillary, George Bush, George Bush Sr. All these people are groomed by the same motherfuckers.
yeah, and I mean, when you really look into it and trace the lineage back through the American presidents, every American president we've ever had up until Donald Trump has been a direct descendant of the royal party of England.
And we can't necessarily definitively say that Trump's not. I mean, we really don't know too much about Trump and his family. They're kind of an enigma as far as it goes.
I know his kids are very, very outspoken Zionists. Um,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're both converted Jews, but the point is they're still Zionist.
I didn't know you could convert a Jew.
Yeah, you can convert to Judaism.
No, I'm not going to convert to Judaism. I've already been circumcised. I don't think they can do it twice. I think I'm a little bit too old for bar mitzvah too. Like I came of age a long time ago. I think I'll be a little bit behind. There seems like there might be a few key components that would get left out of the mix if I were to convert to Judaism at my age.
I don't know. I'm really not really sure how that works. I haven't really looked much into that part of it.
I don't believe none of it, dude. Like, I'm one of them kind of people that just fucking, I find it all to be a bunch of lies and just outright bullshit. How the fucking people believe in this kind of shit? That's what I get to, you know?
You know, I mean, it's an unfortunate turn of events, but it is what it is.
Yeah, man, and I fucking hate the fact that things are the way they are, man. Like, it would be fucking amazing if it wasn't the way if things could be different, but man, the reality of life is things literally are the way they are, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like, we can keep trying to fight the good fight, you know what I mean? But, like, until just worldwide, our types of movements actually get some support without somebody jumping out immediately screaming, oh, these guys have to be racist. And, you know,
Honestly, I'm surprised our channel hasn't been called racist yet.
I'm waiting on it. I mean, I've had people tell me that, you know, they find some of the things we say to have slightly racist undertones and shit, but like,
Like what?
well, that was more or less back in the days when Levi was around, but you know, he did say a lot of things that I think he intentionally said to try and get our channel pulled off, you know? Which I still never quite figured out why somebody would go out of their way to try and, you know, sabotage what we do, but it is what it is. I mean, I don't know what anybody was hoping to gain out of that. Like, fucking, if he'd had our channel flagged, we just would have gone to a different, started up brand new, and he wouldn't have been invited back. Same as what happened, you know, once we did catch on to the fact that, like, as much as he was a cool guy, like, he was saying different shit that was starting to get us, like, in trouble. Like, and you can't just, like, say certain words and shit on a live stream and, like, just pretend like it's all good, especially when, you know, you're using it in a derogatory manner. And we just seen what's happened to almost anybody on YouTube. If you give these fucking leftists any kind of ammunition, best believe they're gonna fire. That's just then, you know, I'm not trying to give my enemies fucking ammunition to take me out, like, before I've even got a chance to really set up and start fighting back. You feel me?
Oh yeah, of course.
Like, yeah, we'll take on Antifa. We say what we want, but we try not to be, you know, derogatory to a point where, like, legally you could say, oh, they were on some racist shit. They tried to inspire violence on us, or they did this, they did that. You're not going to get us on shit like that because I'm not going to give you the fucking opportunity to get me on some bullshit like that. what I mean, and you guys know exactly how I feel about certain groups, but I make it very known. I'm not going to go out of my way to fuck with y'all. But if I ever do run into a group of people like these guys and they want to fuck around, then so be it. If I feel like my life's in danger and that I feel threatened because there's a big group of y'all and y'all are acting like a bunch of rowdy fucking animals, and I'm going to do whatever I fucking got to do. Safe. That's the ultimate goal of being a human, survive. You know?
Of course.
But I mean, as far as it goes, like any breaking news, anything you want to talk about? Do you want to do any recapping of all the bullshit that happened in 2017 and give your ideas on what you personally think 2018 might be like? You know, I mean,
oh, I'm just gonna straight up say that I'm I'm just gonna go ahead and say that 2018 is gonna be hell. I
I
mean,
mean, overall, what do you think your favorite things about 2017 as far as what we covered, all the shit that happened over the years? Like, what were your highlights for the year as far as like shit that came to light or, you know, whatever's happened? Like, I mean, I guess overall, what's your recap of what 2017 was, and then we'll, you know, let's talk about some of this shit. Like, you know, had fucking Las Vegas happen at the end of the year almost, to the point to where like so many people were freaked out on New Year's Eve. It was ridiculous. Like they had such massive fucking security going down all over the place.
I'm really not even sure where to start on that.
I mean, I've got to say, 2017, as much as it was shit, a lot of stuff happened that just could not be ignored and denied.
Yeah,
Us, people like us, you know, we kind of came out of the cuckoo's nest in everyone's eyes into the hold up now. Maybe all these people are on to something kind of shit, you know? I mean, thanks to things that came out to light in, you know, the past couple of years, a lot of the shit that we consider, you know, people considered us to all be nut jobs and psychos and shit like that. Like, it came out that this shit was real. We weren't all fucking crazy. We were on to something.
we've at the very least, 2017 exposed a lot of the what the globalists are doing, and a lot of the corruption that has been bound so deep in our and basically our government and the world governments.
I mean, I actually liked a lot of what happened this past year because, like I said, it exposed a lot of what people have been ragging on us for years, saying we're all a fucking bunch of nutbags and this, that, and the other. Like, it came out to the light. There is no more denying that this shit goes on. Like,
Exactly. The ones that were saying
validated.
we were a bunch of nutbag conspiracy theorists that, the whole tinfoil hat thing. And those are the same people that's looking now like, holy shit, y'all were right.
Exactly, dude.
They're the
And I
ones.
mean, like, Yeah, now they're all just sitting back having to shake their heads and go, man, like if we were being lied to about this or they were hiding this from us, I mean, what else of all that's being said is being true? I mean, like, they're legitimately having to open up the files on, like, Roswell, Area 51, and JFK again because the people are demanding it because we want to know what all have we been lied to. There's been a push for the 9/11 reports to be reinvestigated and the rest of the information come out about that. I mean, the little bit of stuff that came out was enough to make a lot of people that were in the dark start questioning things again. And that's the one thing the government never really wanted was for people to start questioning what's going on, you know?
Well, of course. The last thing they want to do
But that's
is,
why we're also seeing a ramp up, and it's happened under Trump as well now. Police states starting to ramp up in power again. And it's like it's starting to go into overdrive. Now they're legitimately considering the idea of calling the UN onto American soil to deal with our non existent so called gun and gang problem.
I will say that there is a problem with gangs, but the biggest
But
problem in
not that
gangs
needs
is them
foreign
running
intervention.
drugs.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not to a point where we need to be calling in foreign entities like the UN, which I don't care what anyone says, that's a foreign fucking entity trying
It
to come
is,
onto American soil and change the way things are on American soil. Yeah, there's some bad areas. Well, if the government would actually give a fuck about people and focus on the people and getting people out of poverty, then maybe this shit wouldn't be happening still. I mean, when you allow all of our companies that could really give people jobs the ability to just go overseas and have everything produced in China and Japan. And the only places for people to work are at places like McDonald's or something where that doesn't even pay enough to pay your fucking rent. You have to have 2 or 3 jobs. Well, I don't see how you can expect America not to be a bad place and not to be ideal, you know?
of course. I mean, everything, everything is inflating except for the wages.
Mm-hmm. And that again boils down to the politicians.
Yeah,
And it's not the federal government on its own. People need to start holding the people at their state levels accountable. People need to start holding their senators, their congressmen. They need to start holding people accountable.
hell, even the local levels, your municipal governments.
Yep. Yeah.
Keep it, start at the bottom and work your way to the top.
But see, that requires too much effort and actual participation. And unless people are able to go riot and be on the news or protest about something that really doesn't affect them in any shape, form, or fashion, but all people really care about is whether a news reporter is going to show up and validate what they're doing. That's really what it boils down to, bro. It ain't even that the people are upset about this, that, or the other. It's whether or not they're going to be able to get on the fucking news and be able to call their mom or their dad later on that night and be like, oh, turn on channel 3 and I'm going to be on there talking about this bullshit that really doesn't affect me
Yeah,
and
pretty
how
much.
outraged I am about this. You know, I'm outraged. Black Lives Matter. Fuck changing anything in our own communities, though. It's the white man's fault. No personal accountability for what's going on, you
Yeah,
know? Same thing with white people. It's Motherfucking, if they're in poverty, it's all, well, it's because they're hiring all these minorities and giving our jobs away, and not that we're lazy and don't want to fucking go out there and put out an effort. Sure, work's hard to find, but I know for a fact work's out there because I've seen it. I've worked it. It may not be comfortable work. It may not be easy work, but the fucking work's out there. You just have to be willing to bust your ass to earn that money, and most people fucking aren't. Let's be real.
Well, I mean, work is work.
I've been talking about this for years. There's so many people, oh, I want this, I want that, I want to make some real money. To make that real money, they got to break a sweat. Oh, I don't need money that bad.
Work is
I'm
work.
not going to lift a ton of material a day.
It's not really meant to be enjoyable.
Hell, I enjoy myself busting my ass. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that's just the thing. Actually, if you can work hard and be proud of what you're doing and be proud of the work you're putting out there, any kind of work can be enjoyable. Even hard manual labor, you can enjoy the fuck out of it as long as you actually put your heart into it and dedicate yourself to that job. With the work I was doing when I was working, I loved my job, man. Like, I really did. Fucking, I loved it. I mean, shit went downhill. That's the nature of life. But nonetheless, I found a way, like, it was the people I worked for a lot of the times I didn't like. The work itself, I loved the shit out of it, man. Like, I legitimately enjoyed getting up every day to go to work. You know, I looked forward to it.
Right.
Huh.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I work
Now,
my job
granted,
now.
not everybody can do that.
Because of what I do now, there's people that have electricity going to a lot of places that otherwise wouldn't have anything. Like, next time you're traveling out through a desert or something and you see a gigantic metal power pole carrying power lines across the desert to a hospital or something, that's what I do.
Well, I mean, I look at it like this, man. Everybody has the ability to enjoy whatever profession they're in. If they actually go out and find a profession, you're never going to be happy working at McDonald's. You want to know why? The government doesn't want you to be happy at working for McDonald's. Those kind of jobs were put there and designed to be the way they are. It breaks your spirit so that you'll just be a loyal worker and accept the way things are, and this is the best I can get. You know? They don't want you to strive to have a trade anymore. That shit, they want to give those kind of jobs to robots in the near future, man. They're trying to push the world into an AI standpoint. If y'all don't believe me, just look around. On D-Wave, go look at quantum computers, go look at AI and tell me. And go look at the sex robots and all these other robots that are starting to come out. They've got fucking robots now that'll do this. They've got TVs that are, and that are plugged in the matrix now that will like roll to you and bring you what you want and shit like this, man. Like, they don't want people to have trades anymore. Soon, I guarantee you, they're going to push society to where we can literally just sit at home and pretty much do nothing. They'll give us a limited amount of income every month for us to have for ourselves to, keep us pacified. And we're going to be living in some Demolition Man kind of shit within the next 20 years. Fucking watch, dude. I'm not joking around. There's no joke in any of that. That's not a pun, people. I'm being serious as a motherfucker. Give it 20 years, we're going to be living in some like Demolition Man, fucking Terminator style bullshit. I promise it. Just look at it. Look at all the things that 5 years ago we considered, even 10 years ago, we considered that shit science fiction, and now we're seeing it in front of our own eyes.
Yeah.
Reality games were a fucking distant like idea that we considered science fiction just 5 years ago. That shit was never going to exist in the real world.
Of course.
Now look at what we've got.
And it's here. I mean,
But Hollywood talking about years. You think they didn't already know about that shit?
oh yeah, they did. Where do you think they got the ideas from?
Exactly, dude.
But I think I'm gonna go ahead and kill it off here. I got to get up and start getting ready for work. I think tomorrow we'll try to start a little bit earlier.
Hey man, I'm always here. I'm literally you saw I was up at 4 o'clock this morning, like fucking
Yeah, good
I'm
point.
up by 8, fucking and up all night. So I mean, like I said, if you want to do one in the middle of the day, dude, like down, man. I have nothing to do but watch my kids nowadays.
All right. Yeah. We'll definitely do one tomorrow. We'll definitely do it a little bit earlier so I don't have to just jump up and start getting ready for work. I kind of slept a little bit longer than what I expected today, but that's that's the third shift life. You know how that goes.
Well, as we always say, people, keep it real, keep it metal. Tune in. Like I said, he's hosting nowadays, so whenever he comes on, that's when we'll have episodes. I do solo episodes, but like I explained in the last video, like this internet's so much bullshit here that I promise you, if I were to try to upload a video to fucking YouTube, I can make it today and it would upload sometime next week. So it's fucking y'all
But
hold in there. Hopefully, I'll get service on my phone soon, and that'll help speed things up. And like I said, if any of y'all want to contribute to PayPal, possibly, well, I'll either get Brandon to set us up one if we don't already have one, or I mean, I'll look up my PayPal information if any of y'all are willing to help out. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I can use whatever help I can get at this point. I'm a stay-at-home dad, and I can't really, like I said, unless I get service on my phone, y'all are shit out of luck as far as solo content goes. I don't have a computer anymore. I phone that has no service. It only works with Wi-Fi, so you people got to deal with what you get.
yes.
I'm out, Brandon. I'll holler at you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll go over some, whatever relevant topics are going on that have happened over the past couple of days since the first, and we'll kick it off. Brand new year, brand new news. Let's see how crazy this shit gets.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. Keep it real. Keep it metal.